All right, welcome back to the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm going to talk a little bit about Austin Meadows right now. You know, I wanted to see him up here, and that just wasn't the case. They sent him back to Indianapolis. I would have liked to have seen him start. He was red hot. Then they went with this 4-player outfield platoon situation that I didn't like, Will, but now he's back in the minors. Do you like this move? I think it's this Super 2, but Huntington denied that today.
Well, I mean, I think Neil does have some ground to stand on here. The kid has not been that good the last 4 to 6 weeks after that tremendous start that he had. I mean, the irony is, like, he came up and they got bad immediately. I mean, I kind of felt bad for the kid, but they, like, literally coincided with his arrival in mid-May. You know, like this happened with Polanco, this happened Marte. I think it's sort of absurd to think this kid's going to come up and hit 325 forever, right? That's not going to happen. And you look, Marte has responded, Polanco has responded, Corey Dickerson has been good all year. If you're getting at-bats from Luplow, you know, I mean, why not send him back to Indy for a few weeks, have him play every day for a couple weeks and see if he can kind of get it back together?
The only thing they should have sent him down about a week ago. There's no reason this guy should sit on the bench for 10 days. That goes against everything they preach about, you know, not rushing young guys to the big leagues so they can play every day in the minor leagues. Huntington said today it was about roster flexibility, that they had some guys in waiver la-la land, I guess, and he admitted they probably should have sent him down a few days earlier, but I have no problem with him being sent down. It's not a death sentence. Mickey Mantle was sent down, for heaven's sake. I'm not suggesting the Meadows will be Mickey Mantle. I'm just saying, get down, get your game back together. We're going to hear a lot of you in the near future.
Now, I'm not going to panic about this until the trade deadline comes and goes, and then I'll evaluate my level of angst as to whether or not Corey Dickerson is still on the team. But, you know, Will, I'll go back to what you said in the previous segment. If anybody is unhappy about Meadows being up and then down again, then you should be unhappy that Dickerson is here in the first place, because Dickerson being here in the first place was basically an effort to make sure you remain, like you said before, Will, a 75 to 77 win team. That's all he was going to do, was to help you be close to 500 and look more major league, as opposed to risking it all by bringing Meadows up more quickly or waiting for him to develop, bringing up Luplow, have him potentially be a fish out of water for a while until Meadows got ready, and then bringing in Meadows. But Corey Dickerson is the ultimate in them trying to live in both worlds at the same time.
I think Dickerson's very much a trade chip going into the deadline area.
Yes.
You know, he's going to be arbitration eligible one more year. He's already making $6 million. He did hit a home run this weekend, but well, today, if I remember correctly, he's only his second one since like May 4th. He hasn't driven in runs. His average is good. I don't know. He is what he is. I would expect them to try to move him.
I mean, you know, Clint Hurdle talks a lot about like the arc of a player's career, and sort of that first stage is getting in and staying, and then it's sort of finding your legs, and then it's sort of elevating to the next level. I mean, look, I think we all believe that Austin Meadows can be a productive major league player, but they adjusted. I mean, they weren't going to let the kid rake and not figure out a way to pitch him. Now he's got to figure a way, as to use a hurdleism, you know, put a foot down, slow heartbeat, whatever. And I think, you know, he's a smart enough kid. He's got a good head about him. And I think he is part of that group. If they're going to actually be a good team in 2 years, he's going to be a part of it. Let him go down and figure it out.
You know, you brought up good team. Ron brought up financial flexibility, and I think that's the reason why Corey Dickerson's going to be going. And, you know, Ron, when you talked to Huntington today, you used the word lukewarm, and I kind of feel like all his answers are always lukewarm. So who do you put the blame on for all these questionable moves they've made, even going back 2 years? I mean, do you blame ownership? Do you blame front office? Do you blame Hurdle? I mean, I personally blame Nutting for a lot that's going on. They don't have the pieces. But today, I mean, look at what happened in the 10th inning. I put the, you know, I could kind of put the blame. I could see I don't want to question what he's doing, but, you know, why use Tanner Anderson in that situation, in a high leverage situation? This is a guy that they just brought up, and he gave up a run, and they almost lost this game today.
Well, you ask who I blame. I say yes, yes, and yes, everybody. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of getting away from Hurdle's strategy in the 10th inning tonight. I think is kind of more irrelevant to some of the moves Huntington has made have not turned out good. And then again, he's operating with his hands handcuffed by his owner. And for a while, he somehow managed to get this team 3 years into the playoffs. I said they'd never win again in my lifetime under this ownership. They proved me wrong. Now I'll say it again. I'm not sure they'll win again under this ownership. We'll see if they prove me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Rich, that's a big question that you asked there, and I'm with Ron in the sense that I think there's a little bit too much of a chasm between that and then what happened today in the 10th. But I will say this. I blame Nutting for creating a team that has to get rid of Garrett Cole this early in his career, that has to give up on Andrew McCutchen with 1 year left to go, that doesn't keep Jay Happ. Like, those were things I blame Nutting for. I blame Huntington for not either drafting the right guys or failing to have in place a structure that develops the guys that they draft, where they could have a roster that by now, through all the burning down and rebuilding that they've done over the years, should be the Cubs, should be the Astros.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a minute. Kansas City had a worse record than the Pirates from 13 to 15, but yet made the playoffs a couple times, a couple World Series, and won. They spent some money to try to keep most of their guys, and they have, what, the second worst record in Major League with those guys with big contracts. So I'm not going to get, do I think part of it's Nutting's fault? Of course part of it's Nutting's fault, but I think there's a lot of different ways to screw it up. It's not just, well, the owner won't spend. You look at Kansas City, they spent for some of those big guys after they won a World Series, and it hasn't worked out for them, and now they're saddled with these contracts with underperforming stars that they can't move. So, you know, I just think the Pirates have not done a great job building on that success that they had. The scary part for me, if I'm a fan, is did they really intend to build on it? And that's the part that makes me upset.
Well, you could get away with a lot when you go to a World Series and win one. Would anyone complain here about the Pirates right now if they'd went to the World Series and won it?
I wouldn't have complained if they tried to go out and get Johnny Cueto, that's for sure.
I mean, they won a World Series, and we haven't had one around here since '79. I was a much younger man in 1979.
Well, we just have to face it. They're never going to spend any money. Now let's go around the horn for this week's Smooth Armina Stone logo moves, brought to you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops, Armina Stone. So, Tim, what's your smooth move for the week?
My smooth move goes to Daniela Greenbaum. She wrote a piece for the Washington Post talking about the evils of social media and how it's killing journalism as we know it. It's a must-read, especially for news directors, program directors, and editors across the country who are too spineless and gutless sometimes to run pieces or often scrub and kill pieces that have opinions that are less than popular to the social media mob that exists out there. It's definitely something that needed to be said, and I'm glad that it was.
I'll stick a little more towards sports and go with Polanco and Marte, what they've done to turn around their season. Very impressive to me. Marte was so bad he was benched for 3 games. Polanco was hitting 200, and we all wanted him to go to the minor leagues. My hands up. Now they look like actual major league players. I give them credit for bouncing back.
I'm going to look, shout out to moms everywhere, including one, Serena Williams, 10 months removed from childbirth, and a host of health issues that came along with that. To get to the final at Wimbledon is pretty amazing. She is the GOAT, in my opinion, and really is shining a light on the fact that, you know what, working moms get stuff done, period.
Yep.
My smooth move. All you guys getting along tonight. That's our smooth moves of the week, brought to you by Armina Stone, who features Pittsburgh's largest indoor stone gallery of granite, marble countertops imported from all over the world to give you the smoothest countertops in the area. Score a touchdown with the new granite countertops from Armina Stone. #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. We'll be right back.